If you've ever stood in a grocery store looking at a protein product and wondered, is this actually a good protein source? This video is for you. One of the biggest mistakes I see after bariatric surgery, patients think they're getting enough protein when they're actually getting protein from sources that aren't doing the job they think they're doing. And unfortunately, that can make it harder to heal, harder to preserve muscle, and harder to reach your protein goals. So today, I'm going to teach you something I wish every bariatric patient understood: how to tell the difference between a complete protein and an incomplete protein. And don't worry, I'm going to make this really simple. Hi, I'm Grace. I'm a physician assistant with 20 years of experience working with bariatric patients. On this channel, we talk about bariatric surgery, endoscopic procedures, weight loss medications, nutrition, and healthy habits so you can feel more informed and confident throughout your weight loss journey. Why protein matters so much after surgery. Before we talk about complete versus incomplete protein, let's talk about why protein is such a big deal in the first place. After bariatric surgery, your body is healing. You have surgical wounds on the outside that you can see, but you also have much larger healing areas on the inside that you can't see. Protein provides the building blocks your body uses to repair tissue. It also helps preserve muscle mass while you're losing weight. And later on, protein helps with satiety, meaning it helps you stay fuller longer. Protein isn't optional after surgery. It's one of your highest priorities. What is a complete protein? Now, let's simplify something that sounds much more complicated than it really is. A complete protein contains all 9 essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are amino acids your body cannot make on its own. You must get them from food. One analogy I like to use is I tell patients to think about building a house. If I deliver lumber, drywall, roofing materials, electrical wiring, windows, doors, concrete, etc., you have everything you need to build the house. That's a complete protein. But what if I only deliver some of the materials? You still have useful supplies, but you don't have everything needed to finish the job. That's an incomplete protein. Common complete proteins. Fortunately, many of the protein sources bariatric patients already use are complete proteins. Animal-based examples include chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, milk, whey protein, and casein protein. If it comes from an animal source, it's usually a complete protein. Bariatric protein shake examples. This is also why many bariatric protein shakes are based on whey protein isolate, whey protein concentrate, milk protein, or casein. These are high-quality, complete proteins that provide all the essential amino acids your body needs. Now, what is an incomplete protein? An incomplete protein is simply a protein source that is missing or very low in one or more essential amino acids. That doesn't mean it's a bad food. I do want to emphasize that. Many incomplete proteins are very healthy foods. They're just not as efficient when you're trying to maximize protein quality. These proteins also do not count towards your daily protein intake as a post-op bariatric surgery patient. Common examples of incomplete proteins include nuts, seeds, some grains, and many plant proteins. Some people are also surprised to find out collagen proteins are incomplete proteins as well. Many people use collagen supplements as a way to augment their skincare routine, help with joint pain, and other issues. And many bariatric patients feel whenever they consume these proteins that these grams count towards their daily protein intake. However, they don't because they are incomplete proteins. These foods can absolutely be part of a healthy diet, but after bariatric surgery, when every bite counts, protein quality becomes especially important. Now for the pea protein question. The one question I get all the time is, what about pea protein? This is where things get interesting. Pea protein technically contains all 9 essential amino acids, so many experts consider it a complete protein. However, it tends to be relatively low in an amino acid called methionine. So what you'll often see is manufacturers combining pea protein with rice protein, hemp protein, or other plant proteins to create a more balanced amino acid profile. So if you're plant-based, don't panic. There are absolutely ways to meet your protein goals. You just need to be a little more intentional. Why this matters even more after bariatric surgery. Here's where I think patients sometimes get into trouble. After surgery, your stomach capacity is tiny. You cannot eat large volumes of food, so every bite has a job. If you only have room for a few ounces of food, you want those ounces working as hard as possible for you. That's why bariatric teams typically encourage patients to prioritize high-quality protein first, then everything else. For example, I've seen patients tell me, but I had peanut butter, or I ate a handful of nuts, or I had a granola bar with protein in it. And while those foods may contain some protein, they're often not giving you the same protein quality as a serving of Greek yogurt, eggs, fish, chicken, cottage cheese, or a high quality protein shake. So don't just look at the word protein on the label. Think about the source. The simple advice I give patients: if you remember nothing else from today's video, remember this. When you're choosing protein after bariatric surgery, ask yourself, does this come from a complete protein source? If the answer is yes, you're usually moving in the right direction. And if you're unsure, animal proteins, dairy proteins, eggs, whey protein, and most bariatric protein shakes are excellent places to start. Knowing what a complete protein is only the first step. The bigger challenge is figuring out which proteins work best during each recovery phase after bariatric surgery, which protein drinks patients actually tolerate, what to do when everything tastes terrible, how to hit your protein goals when you're sick of shakes, and how to keep meeting your protein goals once you start eating regular food again. Those are the exact topics I cover in my upcoming Protein After Bariatric Surgery course. It's designed specifically for patients navigating those first critical weeks after surgery and trying to meet their protein goals without feeling overwhelmed. Check out the sign-up link in the video description. I'd love to hear from you about this video. Were you surprised to learn the difference between complete and incomplete proteins? And if you've already had bariatric surgery, what protein source helped you the most during recovery? Leave it in the comments below. If you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. Want to know more about the post-op bariatric stages so you're not surprised about surgery? Then check out this video. It's best for you to watch next. And as always, I'm a physician assistant, but I'm not your PA. This video is for educational purposes only and should not replace advice from your own healthcare team. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.